Hi, in this video I will talk about the Surah 13, Thunder Surah. On Earth, there are adjacent lots that produce orchards of grapes, crops, palm trees, dioecious and none. Although they are irrigated with the same water, we prefer some of them over others in eating. These are solid proofs for people who understand. If you ever wonder, the real wonder is they're saying, after we turn into dust, do we get created anew? These are the ones who have disbelieved in their Lord. These are the ones who have incurred shackles around their necks. These are the ones who have incurred hell, wherein they abide forever. They challenge you to bring doom upon them, rather than turning righteous. So they feel, yet being righteous is not easy, and they don't want to be a good person. Sufficient precedents have been set for them in the past. Indeed, your Lord is full of forgiveness towards the people, in spite of their transgressions, and your Lord is also strict in enforcing retribution. Those who disbelieve say, if only a miracle could come down to him from his Lord. You are simply a warner. Every community receives a guiding teacher. God knows what every female bears and what every womb releases or gains. Everything he does is perfectly measured. So this is actually sort of thematically similar to the previous verses. Like he made them into pairs. Um, those with disbelief say, if only a miracle could dawn to him from his Lord. You are simply a warner. Every community receives a guiding teacher. God knows that every female bears and what every womb releases or gains. Everything he does is perfectly measured. The knower of all secrets and declarations, the Supreme, the Most High. It's the same whether you conceal your thoughts, or declare them, or hide in the darkness of the night, or act in the daylight. Take turns staying with each one of you. They are in front of you and behind you. They stay with you and guard you in accordance with God's commands. Thus, God doesn't change the condition of any people unless they themselves make the decision to change. If God wills any hardship for any people, no force can stop it, for they have none beside him as Lord and Masters. Interesting shifts take turns staying with each one of you. They are in front of you and behind you. They stay with you and guard you in accordance with God's commands. So it seems God doesn't change the condition of any people unless they themselves make the decision to change. So it doesn't mean they actually make change. It means they're sort of passive, and once you change yourself, then things around you change. He is the one who shows you the lightning as a source of fear, as well as hope, and he initiates the lauded clouds. The thunder praises his glory, and so do the angels, out of reverence for him, and he sends the lightning bolts, which strike in accordance with his will. Yet they argue about God, though his power is awesome. Imploring him is the only legitimate supplication, while the idols they implore beside him cannot ever respond. Thus they are like those who stretch their hands to the water, but nothing reaches their mouths. The supplications of the disbelievers are in vain. This is important, and so actually the supplication, so they cannot pray something, so pray from other person, and there's no communication between you and the other person, like this person please help me, like if you can tell it, but you cannot pray for the other person. They cannot hear or cannot pray for angel, so only God can give you. And this is interesting that it was mentioned after the verse 13. The thunder praises his glory, and so do the angels. It's sort of like indicating that there is a other way. So it has other implications, like thunder is actually praising, and it is the same thing. It's like actually imploring him, asking from him is the only thing, the only communication channel, and the only true communication. To God prostrates everyone in the heavens and the earth, willingly or unwillingly, and so do their shadows in the mornings and in the evenings. So this is important. Even the disbelievers prostrate, they cannot, for example, control their heartbeats, their lungs. So it's something like the mentioned in the previously, the thunder praises. So this is another thing. So some atheists or disbelievers ask, okay, why God created the world? And we don't believe, they claim that they don't believe, but they're not the most important thing in the world. So indeed, there are more important things, and one of the most important thing is they actually prostrate God. They actually pray God too. So even like it's a testing place, and the goal is actually test believers and disbelievers, distinguish them. But also there is a praying going on, so that it makes it reasonable to create universe. For I'm looking from the perspective of God, trying to understand. Say, who is the Lord of the heavens and the earth? Say, God. Why then you set up besides him masters who do not possess any power to benefit or harm even themselves? Say, is the blind the same as the seer? Is darkness the same as the light? Have they found idols beside God, who created creations similar to these creations, to the point of not distinguishing the two creations? Say, God is the creator of all things, and He is the one, the supreme. And you see some atheists are so like confident, like extremely confident, they don't believe. And you can ask them, okay, you create another universe to live, and I will believe that you are a God and you are telling the truth. So in fact, they maybe look like they're slightly rich or something, like they have followers or something. But you can ask them, you can challenge them. So, but people are generally challenging prophets, but they don't challenge those bad people. They're with high ego, and their ego has actually no rational. Uh, no, it's not logical. He sends down water from the sky, causing the valleys to overflow. Then the rapids produce abundant foam. Similarly, when they use fire to refine metals for their jewelry or equipment, foam is produced. God thus cites analogies for the truth and falsehood. Um, falsehood. As for the foam, it goes to west, while that which benefits the people stays close to the ground. God thus cites the analogies. Those who respond to their Lord deserve the good rewards. As for those who fail to respond to Him, if they possessed everything on earth, even twice as much, they will readily give it up as a ransom. They have incurred the worst reckoning, and their final abode is hell. What a miserable destiny! So is one who recognizes that your Lord's revelations to you are truth equal to one who is blind? Only those who possess intelligence will take heed. They are the ones who fulfill their pledge to God and do not violate the covenant. They join what God has commanded to be joined, reverence their Lord, and fear the dreadful reckoning. They steadfastly persevere in seeking their Lord, observe the contact prayers, spend from our provisions to them secretly and publicly, and counter evil with good. This is also important, counter evil with good. These have deserved the best above. They can do evil to you, but you show good behavior. And counter is also countering, not like being passive. They enter the gardens of Eden together with the righteous, among their parents, their spouses, and their children. The angels will enter to them every door. Peace be upon you, because you steadfastly persevere. What a joyous destiny! As for those who violate God's covenant after pledging to keep it, and swear what God has commanded to be joined, and commit evil, they have incurred condemnation, they have incurred the worst destiny. God is the one who increases the provision for whomever he wills, or withholds it. They have preoccupied with this life, and this life compared to the hereafter is nil. Those who disbelieve will say, if only a miracle could come to him from his Lord. Say God sends astray whomever he wills, and guides to him only those who obey. They are the ones whose hearts rejoice in remembering God, absolutely by remembering God. The hearts rejoice. Those who believe and lead a righteous life have deserved happiness and joyous destiny. We have sent you to this community just as we did for other communities in the past. You shall recite to them what we revealed to you, for they have disbelieved in the most gracious. Say, He is my Lord. There is no God except He. I put my trust in Him alone. To Him is my ultimate destiny. Even if a Quran caused mountains to move or the earth to tear asunder or the dead to speak, they will not believe. God controls all things. Is it not time for the believers to give up and realize that if God willed, He could have guided all the people? The disbelievers will continue to suffer disaster as a consequence of their own works. This is important as their own works, or have disaster strikes close to them, until God's promise is fulfilled. God will never change the predetermined destiny. Messengers before you have been ridiculed. I permitted the disbelievers to carry on, then I punished them. How terrible was my retribution! Is there any equal to the one who controls every single soul? Yet they set up idols to revolt God. Say, name them. Are you informing him of something on earth that he doesn't know? Or are you fabricating empty statements? Indeed, the schemes of those who disbelieve have been adorned in their eyes. They are thus diverted from the right path. Whomever God sent astray can never find a guiding teacher.